for joining us for our Chamber Connection podcast. Thanks to our friends at Speakeasy, we are here for the next 52 weeks, bringing you guests from around our community, elected officials, business owners, folks doing great work here in Macomb County. So, sit back, take a listen, and we hope you'll join us every week for our Chamber Connection. Hi, I'm Stacy Ziarko. I'm the president and CEO of the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us on our podcast today. My guest today is Andrea Jones, owner of Nothing Bundt Cakes in Sterling Heights. Andrea, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It is no secret to anyone that spends any length of time with me that I love cake. I love dessert in general, but cake is probably my personal favorite. And so when Andrea opened her store in the spring of 2019, I made sure we became fast friends because her product is amazing. But what I learned over the last couple years is Andrea didn't set out starting to want to be a baker and own a bakery. So how'd you get here, Andrea? Tell us a little bit about you and tell us a little bit about the store.
Interesting story. So I started out in sales and marketing in automotive. And I worked for an automotive supplier, and that required travel. So we traveled to some of our plants, and the headquarters for Nothing But Cakes happens to be in Texas. But I traveled to a plant in Texas, met with the Texas plant manager. He gave me a gift, a parting gift, which was a box of Bundtinis. And as I was going through the airport, people were like talking about them, TSA agents. I was like, I might have to confiscate that. And I'm like, why? So there's clearly was some buzz, and I didn't know what it was about because there weren't any in Michigan at the time. So got home, ate some of those teenies, and was like, oh, I get it. These are delicious. And there weren't any in Michigan at the time. So kind of stalked Nothing But Cakes until they opened the Michigan market.
And when you are the third location in Michigan, correct?
I am the third. So, no, actually I was the fourth with the correct timing. So Grand Rapids opened first in 2017. Early 2017, and then Novi opened in November 2017, then Troy opened in 18, and then I opened in 19.
And now how many are there in Michigan?
Now there's 6, soon to be 7.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, it's a fabulous product. I can't say enough about the quality of the cake and the quality of the products that you make. What makes them unique?
I think it's that they're very moist. When some people think of Bundt cake, they think of a really dense cake like their grandmother made, but like their pound cake. And my grandmother's recipe was good.
I'm not going to lie, I like really dense pound cake too, so clearly I don't discriminate.
But, a lot of pound cake was made in Bundt pans for some people. And so people just associate it with that initially. But then when they taste it, they are so pleasantly surprised because it's not what they thought. They're so flavorful. The different flavor options that we offer. And so I think that's really what sets it apart. Not to mention, who doesn't love butter cream cheese frosting?
No one. No, and if you don't like frosting, we have this discussion in my office on a regular basis, the sweet and salty conversation, and I'm in the minority in the office now. There's more salty friends than there are sweet ones, so I'd get all the cake for myself. That's how I usually talk about it. When you open the Sterling Heights location, you're right on Hall Road. Yes. You are in a incredibly busy thoroughfare. Talk about what, brought you to that location, because you don't live in the area.
Right, I don't. And so, interesting. So when I signed up that I wanted to be a franchise owner, they initially gave me the Farmington market, and I decided that that one was kind of small and too close to Novi, and I knew the owner of the Novi one. So I had a really good friend that was working out in Macomb County, and she's like, you need to come out here. And I wasn't as familiar, and so I came out, visited, and I was like, yes, this is the perfect place. And then I took my time and found the best real estate for us at the time, and we lucked out. That's a wonderful location. We're on Hall Road between Hayes and Shaner. We're highly visible from the street, and we have some great friends and restaurants around us, so it's a good spot to be.
And it's no secret that the M59 corridor between Shaner and Hayes is the most desirable real estate market in Southeast Michigan. With the amount of traffic that drives through M59, you're in the right place.
Yeah, I love it. I love talking about that with the brand. Like, I'm in the Golden Corridor.
I know. In the Golden Corridor, right by our Golden Halo.
Yes.
Maybe we can put some buttercream on the halo for an image one day. But I think one of the things that you've done extraordinarily well in the last almost 3 years, the store will be open 3 years in what, April?
In March.
In March,
Yeah.
okay. So we're coming up on a 3-year anniversary. I love parties, so happy to help celebrate. But you have made Nothing Bundt Cakes just a very well-known brand in Macomb County. And from your, you did auto sale or auto part sales for a long time. What made you, just the way you marketed this business is like nothing I've ever seen. You're good at creating a buzz and you're good at leaving joy, I think, as you always tell me. But, people associate Macomb County and you talk about Bundt Cakes and it's become very synonymous.
Yeah.
Talk about what you did to, you're entering a market where you are unknown. What did you do?
I got cake everywhere. The one thing that's easy to do with this brand for me is, first of all, my values align with the company's values. So that was an easy win there. But when you're passionate about something, this cake is delicious, and I know it's delicious. I'm 100% confident in that.
You eat your own cake.
I eat my own cake often.
And your kids prefer this cake, right?
They do. And so when you know that you're speaking about something genuinely that you know is wonderful and great, it's easy. Also, just getting cake in mouths, getting people to taste it makes all the difference. And then one of the most rewarding things for me is seeing people eat the cake for the first time and seeing their reaction, the look on their face. It's something that always stays with you.
And I think one of the reasons that you were successful over the last 2 years is because people didn't have as many ways to interact with each other. They were looking for ways to celebrate people.
Yes.
And you just established so many different ways that people could celebrate each other.
Yes, we have cake and decorations for every celebratory occasion. That's what we want to do. We want to be there for every event like that and give you an option to celebrate when using our cake. It's important for us to be visible in the community too, so that they know that we're here and we're here to support the community as well. So I've always been generous with donating cake and making sure that we're helping with fundraisers and every other way that we can be out there. It was important that, during the stay-at-home order when the pandemic started, we didn't close our doors, thankfully. We could have, but we didn't. I had some team members that were dedicated and wanted to be there with me. So a handful stayed, but we got cake out to all the local hospitals and food banks. And it's really important to share joy and spread joy, and we were making sure we were doing that even through really hard times.
So I'm going to tell a story that Andrea probably will not share, but back in April of 2020, Easter was very busy for you that year.
Yes.
And you sold cake everywhere.
Yeah.
But on Easter Sunday, Andrea had her team baking because she had committed a donation to one of our local hospitals that Monday, and she donated 1,500 cakes to, I think, Henry Ford.
I did.
That day. Shows the dedication at that point to our first responders and our healthcare workers.
Yes, yeah. We came in that day especially to bake that for them and to prepare everything.
And your team.
Yeah, my team came in. They didn't have to. I was going to do it by myself.
You have a good team.
I do. I'm very thankful for them.
If you ever have a chance, it's a fun little bakery to be a part of. Tell us a little bit about there are 11 flavors.
Yes.
I make no secret which one is my favorite. And I like Snickerdoodle, which happens to be around now.
Yes.
But can you tell us a little bit about the flavors?
Yeah.
Which ones are your best sellers?
Yeah. So it's important. 11 flavors is a lot.
It is.
And I feel like we do it really well. We rotate our feature flavor every few months with the seasons. And so that's the 11th flavor that everyone gets to have and changes. So the most popular ones are by far chocolate chip, white chocolate raspberry, lemon, and red velvet. Those are the most popular.
And you'll see those featured in the Bundtinis that are right here.
We have here. So that's why this is our favorites assortment that we have, and that has those 4 flavors in it, because those are the ones we sell the most of and that are the most popular. My personal favorite is marble and Snickerdoodle. My dad's favorite is the pecan praline. He loves that one.
One of your employees shared with me that if I put the pecan praline in the microwave for 15 seconds, it tastes like a cinnamon bun, and she is 100% right.
It's amazing when you do that. Yes, it's so good. Classic vanilla is one of my mom's favorite next to lemon. It's a good go-to, and it's not overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Confetti Kids love confetti.
It's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah, that one's really popular as well. So I think we have, during
Carrot?
the season, carrot. Our carrot's a little bit different than the traditional carrot cake, and I love to explain this to people because it doesn't have raisins or walnuts like the classic one does. It's made with crushed pineapple and applesauce, which keeps it very moist.
Oh.
So that one's super delicious.
So basically what you're saying is there's something for everyone.
There is something for everyone. We have people who come in our bakery and share with us that they probably shouldn't be partaking, but they still want to, and we give them options that will be the best for them. So we encourage people like, okay, if you know that you're diabetic and you shouldn't be having this, have the carrot cake without the frosting.
Oh, okay.
Only eat half.
And you have a gluten-free option.
Yes. So it's gluten-friendly. It's one of my favorite flavors.
Mine too. I will wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, it's so good. And so it's a gluten-free chocolate chip cookie flavor. Again, some people, it's best without frosting for them, depending on their sensitivities. Some people have dairy sensitivities. But I always recommend that people taste it, take a little bit, buy a Bundt, and take a little bit first and make sure that it works for you if you have a high issue with gluten.
And one of your team members shared too with me that was her favorite and made me try it, and I have to agree, it was delicious.
Yeah.
I also shared, we took a Bundt cake for my grandmother's birthday last year, and my grandmother is old school. She's 93 years old. She bakes everything herself, and in her eyes, it was blasphemy that we brought a store-bought cake for her birthday.
Oh.
And she said, I would have made my own cake. So we brought a lemon cake, which we knew she would like. And at the end of the day, she was like, I'm going to take this home with me. This was really good. I'm going to eat this for breakfast. So you've won over the home baker too.
I love those stories. Those are the best.
But you customize things. You've got some towers over here. So tell us about those.
So our towers are wonderful gift options. You can get a single tower with one Bundt inside, one with a double with two, and a triple. We can even pair them with cute retail that we have in the bakery, like a cute mug, or we put them with cards or other things that we have there. So we really get creative with those. Valentine's Day is usually pretty special with them, and so is Easter because we have little bunnies, and you can attach the little bunny to the tower. People like that. But no, they're great for gifting, and some businesses actually love them give them away as gifts to their clients.
We've seen a lot of our real estate friends have given those as new home gifts, as closing gifts. I give them for my team for their birthdays, but it definitely is. They're just very attractive, and you're getting a good good cake.
And we can customize them like we did for the chamber, the 60th anniversary. We had those stickers on the containers, so we like doing fun stuff.
They were the best giveaway item. So you opened this business, just before the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Did you ever expect the response that you had during the pandemic?
No. I didn't. We were really surprised, but then also it was very a rewarding feeling because there were a lot of places that had closed or that didn't have enough staff to be open, and we were still there and making these deliveries and being out there, providing cake for people. We had happened to just buy our first delivery vehicle right before the stay-at-home order. We didn't know that, but we had worked that out. We were
because who was delivering before then?
That would be me.
And your mom and dad.
My mom and dad and me.
Definitely family.
Yes, jumping in. Appreciate them so much. But yeah, I'm glad we had just got that vehicle because we were able to bring cake, and people really wanted to send things to people that they couldn't be with, either get well or, graduations parties were canceled, all those things, birthdays.
I think people were also looking for a sort of comfort.
Yes.
And a lot of people turn to food in times of comfort and need. And I think that was definitely a great option there too.
Yeah, something great we did during the stay-at-home order as well was we had a little fun program called You've Been Bunted, where a guest would come in and buy a cake for themselves, and we give them the opportunity to gift a cake to someone else, and we would deliver it, and it said, "You've been bunted by, so-and-so."
I love it.
It's cute.
Again, we all found unique ways to show our appreciation to people, to show that we were thinking about people. Always, providing joy.
Yes, always bringing the joy.
So not only is Andrea a very successful business owner, but she is a member of our chamber board of directors.
Yes.
And has really utilized the chamber, I think, to help your business in Sterling Heights.
Absolutely.
So talk about what, not only made you join the chamber, but really want to be an involved member of the chamber.
I have really found that Sterling Heights, the Macomb area, is all about relationships and being friendly with each other. And I was so pleasantly surprised and overwhelmed by the welcome that I received when I opened the bakery. And then I felt like for me, it was most important to learn more about the community and really be present. So I thought the chamber was the best way for me to do that, especially since I wasn't familiar with the area. I didn't grow up on the east side. So I really dove in with that. And I'm so glad that I did. It made all the difference. All the relationships that I've made are relationships from the chamber, and though that support that I get is awesome when needed, right? Even during the stay-at-home order, like, waving at each other through the window, it's like
familiar faces,
right? And it made all the difference. But really, like, just promoting each other. The best compliment I've received is that from other chamber members that'll say to me, "I see you everywhere," and I'm like, "Thank you. That means we're doing a good job."
Because you are everywhere.
We try to be.
And, we talk often that we hope our business community tries to be a good community partner.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that go on in Sterling Heights, in Macomb County. You're at all of them.
I try to be.
You have never, in all of the years I've asked Andrea for something, I don't think you've ever said no. Please don't start now. But I don't want to give you any ideas. But I think it's your goal to be present.
It is. It is our goal to be present. We want to be everywhere, and we want to be present and involved. We feel very involved when we're always at things.
So Andrea was at one of the events was at the Sterling Christmas back in December, and it was a beautiful evening. And I happened to be walking out, like, mind you, Santa Claus is there, and a petting zoo, and Christmas carols, and
hot
crafts,
cocoa.
You name it. And I'm walking out behind this little girl and her family, and her mom says, "What was your favorite part?" And she goes, "My Bundt cupcake." So clearly, like, you tapped Santa Claus as her most exciting part of the day. But again, you are so visible. And I think that's what helps, your business thrive, is people knowing where you're at.
Yes, it definitely does. And there's even more work to do. You think that everyone knows that you're there and where you are, and it's not true. You still have to get the word out. So we've been doing a good job, and we're going to continue to. We're not going to let up off the gas.
Good.
Because it's just our goal is to be everywhere. So you got to be out there to be everywhere.
You know what? And I think that's the best. It's the best way to be is to be authentic. And I think the biggest thing is that you love your product.
Yes.
You love your team.
I do.
And it's real easy to talk about all of those things when you're passionate and love what you do.
I think so.
And I think that you can take that to anything.
Yeah.
We can all say, what are we passionate about, and how do we make that something we love?
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago, did you think you would take your passion for baking and own your own bakery?
No way. If someone had told me 5 years ago that I was going to own a bakery, I'm like, that's really funny. That's hilarious. There's no way.
You're right. We joke about this all the time, but this was not where you wanted to expect it to be.
It's not, but it's funny how you get there. I think that one of the things along my career is that I've always been very passionate about doing right by people. And I told you I have a sales and marketing background, but I also spent some time in HR and leadership and development. And so I really care about people. And I've spent a lot of time willing people to do right by people, to see how things impact people. And I was the only voice at the table. And that's a lot of responsibility. Mm-hmm. But I didn't back down from it. And I felt like, when I got the opportunity and I felt like I could do this and open this bakery, I'm going to show everyone how it's supposed to be done. This is how you create a solid team. This is how you do right by your employees. And of course, I learned some things along the way that I was naive about.
I'm sure.
But at the end of the day, it says everything about what our workplace culture is and how much people care about our bakery. Like I said, everyone I encourage to go home and collect unemployment to be safe during a stay-at-home order, but many chose to be there. And that's a testament to our culture.
It's a testament to the fact they wanted to be there.
Yes, they wanted to be there.
They love what they do. I have learned a lot from you about the customer service aspect.
Yeah.
And how you treat your customers. Yes. And, different things of, always do right by your customer.
Yeah, we don't call them customers in the bakery. No, but we call them guests.
Guests.
Because they're like friends to us.
And they're kind of coming into your home.
Yeah, exactly. We pride ourselves on how clean and neat our bakery is, how good it smells.
I was just gonna say, and if the smell of it, we needed like some smell-o-vision today.
Yeah, our service is everything and very important. And you know what? It's you can see it with our team, even with the rule changes and everything with the pandemic, that we had to pivot, right, and change how we were doing things.
Leave cake on, people called and you delivered it to a curbside.
Yes, we made sure we got cake to everyone. As we came out, we were outdoors, outside of our bakery in the cold.
I was there.
Yes, you were.
I was there.
And you didn't hear them complaining.
Not a one.
They're not going to complain because they're just happy to help everyone. They genuinely want to make sure everyone has the best experience. And it's hard to find people that do that. That's why we're very selective of who we allow to join our team.
You're intentional.
Yeah, very intentional. And we got a great team because of it.
We talk often, you have kind of jumped feet first into being a chamber member.
Yeah.
And being on the board, being on the executive committee. What would you tell someone on how the chamber helped you and maybe why they should become a member of the chamber?
I just had this conversation with someone.
Good.
Recently, who was interested in the chamber. It's important that the chamber is a community, but also I am very thankful for the support that I received from the chamber and the chamber members during all those important times. And so I'm always going to promote the importance of really being involved in truly doing everything that you can to maximize your use of your chamber membership, because I did, and I saw results from it. I was just telling someone that I am so thankful for my brag group. So I didn't just join the chamber and not do all the activities. You saw me at everything in the beginning.
Yeah.
I joined a brag group. I ran around and visited all of them to decide which one to be in.
What is a brag group? Tell our listeners a little bit about your group and what brag is all about.
A brag group is like your own personal cheerleading team, right?
Like, it's a great way to describe it.
We're responsible for referring and each other and supporting each other. It's like having a little team of people to do nothing but brag on you, right? And
it's like your hype squad.
That's right. It is. It is definitely a hype squad. And I thought that was awesome. And I found some people that I connected with and I thought was a great fit for me. And it's been great ever since. I have to say that during the stay-at-home order, again, my brag group was one of the few groups that was still meeting and found a way to still meet via Zoom. And it was just really just supporting each other.
Yeah.
Just talking about what we're doing, how are we getting our business done in these times.
And a lot of times, especially for these groups, relationships go well past business.
Yeah, they do.
And the chamber has 10 of these groups that work, that have members all across the county and even into Oakland County and some in Wayne County. And we think that that's one of the most signature pieces of the Sterling Heights Chamber is this referral-based hype squad that I'm going to call it now. Because it's just, when you talk to, millennials or people younger than me, you've got to, change your terminology. So maybe it is a hype squad.
I mean, I have a hype squad of subject matter experts, right, in their areas of expertise, and that's a great a resource to have at your fingertips. I've moved, so my brag member helped me buy and sell my home. Another one helped me insure my home. My team is on our feet a lot all day, baking and making frosting cakes. So guess what? Sometimes our backs and our joints are a little sore. So guess what? My chiropractor
keeps everybody in line,
and they're from my brag group, and I send my employees there too. So all of those things are important to have those resources, and I love that I trust them so much that I can send my employees to them and continue to send referrals to them.
And it helps that that if you need something, you have a group of people that you can turn to.
Absolutely. We had an issue with our dishwashing sink. What do I do first? I go on the chamber website and I see who's
a plumber.
Yep.
That, sometimes I think that you never, I did this in my own home this week. I had my air ducts cleaned on Friday. Had somebody come over from the chamber and they told me like my dryer duct hadn't been cleaned in a very long time.
Who was it again?
Air duct, clean ducts.
Yes, clean ducts. You know how? Okay, so they're good with posting on Facebook.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
So that's how I knew. I've seen that. I always ask my husband, like, do we need our air ducts cleaned?
FYI, have your dryer vent cleaned. That was something I learned that probably hadn't been done in like 15 years. I'd have that cleaned.
See?
That's another podcast for another day. We can talk about what they find in your air ducts. But Andrea, thank you so much for being here today and sharing a little bit of joy with all of us. This is probably one of my, I don't have favorites, but one of my favorite places to visit, just because it's such a welcoming environment to come and visit your team. Everybody's just so happy to be there, and that truly is a testament to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. This was fun.
So congratulations on all of the success on the bakery. We're grateful to have you as part of our chamber family. And I'm always grateful that you're my friend. So thanks for being here today, and we look forward to you all joining us on our next podcast. Thanks for tuning in to the Chamber Connection. Be sure to check out information on the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce website, our Facebook page, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We look forward to you connecting with us and tuning in next week.